Salutations everyone, and welcome to the video. Based on where you're watching this, you can tell that today's video is going to be about the various Christmas creatures that come out during Christmas time to either assist Santa Claus, or they just come out during this time of year to see who's been good and who's been bad, or the ever famous Krampus might be one of their associates, but we will get to that in a moment. So, since I mentioned it, I guess now is that moment. Krampus is one that has been gaining popularity since the movie came out a few years ago, and so that's kind of started the trend of sort of like anti-Santa Claus like creatures that come out during Christmas time and basically ruin your life, which just is meant to encourage people to not be trash cans all year round. And like, there's always those people that suck all year round and then try to be good in December. Like, okay, so the whole point is that they're watching you all year, so being good just in December is not enough unless you've just really made a life change and this is permanent and you're going to be good forever after that. Otherwise, it doesn't count. At any rate, so Krampus is German in origin, and the most well-known of these things, or at least to me anyway, Krampus is generally depicted as sort of a half goat. The particular thing that I'm reading says half goat, half demon, but aren't demons sort of usually, well, Satan is usually depicted as sort of like a goat-like creature anyway, so that seemed repetitive. But he has horns and fangs and like a lot of fur situation going on. And he usually, if you've been bad, he will chain you and drag you away to death, probably, most like. It just kind of depends which depiction he's looking at, or not he's looking at, you're looking at. I don't know what depictions he's looking at. Hopefully he's not looking at anything, because no thanks, pass. I don't want it. So the next thing on the list, and excuse me if I'm saying this incorrectly because it's in another language, Père Fouettard? That probably wasn't it.
Père Fouettard.
Also known as Father Whipper, Father Flog, Spanky, Christmas Monster, and Cartoon. That last one doesn't make sense. But it basically literally means Father Whipper, so we'll stick with that one. He basically was a person in his life that killed some kids and made them into food, essentially. But then Santa Claus came, or specifically Saint Nicholas, because sometimes, depending on where you are, that's kind of different, came and brought the kids back to life with Christmas magic, I guess, and was basically bound as his servant. So now he goes around and gives coal to bad kids and also whips them, you know, hence the name Father Whipper. The next creature, demon, person, deity situation is Prashanta. I don't know. Prashanta. I'm gonna have the correct pronunciations because I don't know how to say any of these.
Perita.
But Prashanta makes me think of horchata, so that's how I'm gonna say it. It kind of depends who you ask. Some say she's like a lower level deity. Some say she's a witch. Some say she is a goddess. But at any rate, she's usually depicted as a beautiful, pale-skinned woman or a wrinkled hag with a hook nose and raggedy clothes. She also has a giant foot that is I don't know why she has a giant foot. It says it could be from spinning wheels or because she can shapeshift into a goose, which I'm not sure how that's relevant. And she's actually the inspiration behind Mother Goose. She is obsessed with cleanliness and good manners, and she leaves good children and servants, young servants, silver coins, but bad kids get disemboweled, have their innards replaced with garbage, straw, and pebbles, and get sewn up to suffer alone in ungodly pain. And I feel like you're not suffering if you got your innards ripped out, you're just dead. But yeah, sure, maybe she uses magic so that you don't die. The first thing that I thought of when I heard this was the Slender Man, because one of his things, I don't know why we're gendering like demons, but well, he's called the Slender Man, so let's just go with it, is that he rips, well, I don't know if he rips, but he takes out the guts of his victims, puts them in a bag, and hangs it from a tree. So that's just kind of what that made me think of. I don't recall them like putting anything in its place. It's just they gone. I want to say struggle life, but that's a bit of an understatement. The next creature person is Hanstrap, and I definitely didn't think of Die Hard when I heard this name. So he is he was a rich man who practiced black magic and worshipped Satan to increase his wealth and power. And obviously when people heard about that, they were like, how about no? So they took all his money and his assets and basically exiled him to the woods, where he grew demented and cannibalistic. I don't know why being in the woods alone makes you a cannibal, but he wasn't that great a person anyway, so maybe that's how point A led to point B. So he dressed up like a scarecrow and stuffed his clothes full of straw and basically hunted naughty children. So at least he had, like, I don't want to say the word morals, but he only went after naughty children, so I guess that makes it slightly better. Except, not really, because don't eat people. I feel like people would be really bad for you because of all the chemicals that we consume due to processed food and also medications that we take, and also like radiation and just pollution. I mean, eating a human would probably be the worst quality meat ever, unless you lived in the country or you were like a native in the Amazon rainforest or something. So the next one is, I don't know, Bifana. I really should have looked how to pronounce these all before, but again, I'm gonna have the pronunciation, so don't worry about me saying it wrong. It will be corrected. La Bufana, or Babushka. She is of Italian, Russian, and basically Eastern Europe origin. But basically, she is known as the Christmas witch, like many other people. She gives out punishments and prizes. If you're good, you get cookies and gifts, but if you're bad, you'll get coal. And if you stay up to catch a glimpse of her, she'll whack you with a broom. So she just kind of sounds like an irate grandmother. Like, that one's not so bad. I would be okay. I mean, I'd be okay with that one if I was gonna pick, other than like the actual Santa Claus, obviously. Because Santa Claus just gives you gifts or coal, and you know what? You can burn coal, so at least you'll be warm. Let's think of it on the bright side, I guess. That's how we're gonna deal with this situation. So I made this list a little bit more condensed because there's a lot of Christmas mythos and creatures that are kind of interconnected, and I wanted to make that a separate video, so you will get to enjoy that one day. But until then, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you don't have to. If you like me, subscribe. If you don't have to. And hopefully I will see you in the next video. And may God be with you.